A very warm welcome to you, and thank you so much for joining our Homeopathy 24/7 podcast. We are going to be speaking to an array of international guests who will share their knowledge and experiences of homeopathy with you. We will discuss all types of subjects such as remedies, symptoms, and stories of health. No matter where you are with your homeopathic journey, we aim to inspire you on your quest to natural health and living. The podcast is brought to you by Mary Greensmith, the founder of Homeopathy 24/7, which is a global platform connecting you with a homeopath wherever you are in the world, 24 hours a day. So let's get started with today's chat. Please welcome Mary Greensmith.
Hello, welcome. So lovely to see you. Thank you so much for joining us today. Really pleased to welcome Nour Azem. Welcome, Nour.
Thank you very much. I'm really happy to be here with you today and to discuss something that is really close to my heart.
Yes, tell me a little bit more about anxiety. Why anxiety? What is happening?
Yes, so why anxiety? So I'm really interested in helping people with anxiety because it hijacks and it steals people from their own selves. And I've seen how homeopathy is fantastic helping people with mental wellness and all the challenges that come with it. And it gives me great joy to see people benefiting and reconnecting to their own authentic selves.
Yeah, such a profound way actually to explain it. So thank you for that. Because we see it in every aspect of life, don't we? In so many different patients, in so many different ways. It kind of, as you say, affects the whole way that they experience life.
I think we can probably call anxiety an epidemic. There is a huge increase in the amount of people affected by anxiety, and there is an increase also in diagnosing people with anxiety, and the sad thing about the whole thing is that it is also skyrocketing in young people.
Yeah.
As young as 3 years old.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? There's a statistic that shows that there's an increase of almost 29% worldwide with this young generation affected by homeopathy. And it is sad because with these diagnoses, there's also an increase in medications. And why these medications are, work wonderfully for some people. They don't for everyone. And there are some side effects to them. Again, I'm not saying, all of them, but we have to ask these questions. Is that what we want for the whole, population affected by such a thing? I think there is a place for everything. But we do need a more personalized approach, a more a safe one, a more side effect free, natural approach to offer to people. And I think homeopathy does that. So we really have to get out there and explain how homeopathy works and how homeopathy can help indeed in these situations.
You're so right, because it works in such a completely different way, doesn't it? Let's just start. Let's go back a step for a moment and just explain the relationship between an emotional symptom and a physical symptom. Because in homeopathy, we see that, don't we? We see it every time we give a remedy, that somebody actually feels different before their physical symptom changes.
So with anxiety, you have the intense emotions, the really, really quick appearing symptoms that come from nowhere.
Yeah.
And you have the more lingering one, the more slow burn one. And in homeopathy, we look at anxiety in, let's say, through two lenses, if we can say, it's the acute lens and the chronic lens. And each one has a different, slightly different approach and slightly different support way of doing it. And that's why I've created this simple two-step way to explain how homeopathy works when helping with anxiety. And we'll explain more about the two steps.
Yes, let's go through that. So step 1, managing acute anxiety naturally. So acute meaning what is happening now.
Yes. Acute meaning the short-lived symptoms. And usually with anxiety, it is really the symptoms that show up suddenly. They're intense. It's the heart palpitation. It is the sweating. It is the racing thoughts, negative thoughts. It is the intense fear. And the most important bit here in this step is really not giving up. Once people start surrendering to these symptoms, what happens is that anxiety really takes control fully of that person. But how do we help these people in these instances? And with homeopathy, it is great that we have remedies that can indeed help, such as the aconite for sudden intense fear, or the argentum nitricum for situations where people are a bit scared of the future or what if moments, or the jasenium, for fear before an event or before a presentation. I mean, I even took mine today. And what's beautiful about homeopathy is that you can really take it for simple things and more intense things like shock and trauma. So, and also these remedies, the most beautiful thing about them is that they are natural, they're safe, they're non-addictive. And what I do in this step is I do a lot of awareness, and I try to teach my patients how to have remedies on hand to use as soon as they feel the need to. I'm sure, everyone who's listening who deals with anxiety knows that the support needed in these moments are the most crucial.
Yes.
It's like having an anchor when the storm, comes. And this step I actually call calming the storm, and it does exactly what it says. I explain the remedies. I explain when to take them. With time, they'll feel very confident to know that they can reach out to these remedies, have them, act very quickly, feel the calm surprisingly, again, I have to say, quickly, because this is what you need in these situations, this quick response and quick relief. And that's what you get with these remedies. And with this step 1, they'll understand also not only when and how to take these remedies, but, dosing wise. So self-prescribing in the most safest and natural way possible. So that's really step 1. It is not suppressing the symptoms. It is helping the symptoms to be processed and released, so these symptoms don't go deeper and cause more of a problem in the long run.
It's really interesting just listening to you explain it, because that awareness of this is happening is step 1, really, isn't it? It's actually noticing, okay, I don't want to think this. My brain's thinking it, but it's not my choice to think it at the moment. Oh, I need that remedy. And so, and therefore, it's almost as if the remedy is allowing us to, okay, bring us back into the moment. I realize this is happening. I'm going to take this remedy, and now I'm going to think about the things I want to think about. And actually, that kind of passes, but you don't know it's passed because you're thinking about what you want to think about now.
Yes, it is. I mean, I always say breathe. They have to learn how to breathe well.
Okay.
Take the remedy and then reflect.
Yes.
And many start writing what caused their anxiety. So it is, as you said, these moments of being clear about what happened, understanding the process, and then dealing with it.
Yes.
It does make a huge difference when you actually start applying step one.
It's really, really interesting just talking about it. And it makes me realize, because quite often I don't think that, you know, it's bringing that anxiety so that you're aware of it. And I know with me that I am, because it happens in dreams. So whenever I'm going to do something, I will have a dream about it the night before, not arriving, not getting there, not, and then I think, okay, I need a remedy. Because obviously my subconscious mind has got all this, worry going on, so it brings it to us in one way or another, doesn't it? But if we can connect it, as you said, to teach your people how to connect that feeling with, take a remedy and just watch it dissolve, so that you're not thinking about those things at the moment.
Yep.
So let's compare that then with step 2, which you've got as addressing chronic anxiety at the root.
Mm-hmm. So the second step is, I call it beyond the moments, because here we're not really focusing on the symptoms anymore. Yeah. We are really focusing, or not even focusing, we are taking the whole story of the person into perspective, and we go deeper. It's where the deep work starts. We need to understand where did this anxiety come from. We sometimes go back into childhood. We draw a timeline, and that's not really to dwell, because some people are really anxious about going back into the past and talking about traumas and negative events. But it is really more to see what the patterns are.
Yes.
And also understand the story of this person. Is it shame? Is it a traumatic event that started the whole thing? Is it inherited tendencies? Is it disappointed love for some people? So what is it exactly? And then we try to connect all the dots, all the patterns, all the events, and create a full picture of that person. So we're not really building a case and giving the remedy just according to a symptom or 2 or 3, but it is that whole picture of the physical, the mental, and the emotional aspect. And once we give that remedy that goes with all of the above, then we really see an amazing change. And it builds the foundation. It gives the resilience to the person to deal with life and anxiety in general afterwards. And it's very individualized. Let's say someone comes and they always put the needs of everyone before him, and they suppress their emotions, then perhaps a remedy like pulsatilla might be the right fit. Or someone who is very fastidious, is someone who is a perfectionist, someone who feels out of control, then perhaps a remedy like arsenicum might help them. So it's really, really individualized, and looking at that whole picture. And this is the step where there's a lot of following up, fine tuning, remedy wise, potency wise. Potency is, the strength of the remedy, and it's a lovely process. It is very gentle, very individualized, but it will bring this calm, this I would say the real shift in the case you will see definitely in step 2.
Yes. And we see it beautifully, don't we, all of the time. So what you're saying is that, as well as looking at how you're presenting the symptoms at the moment, as well as noting whether the heart's racing or whether you've got sweaty hands or those physical symptoms that are having now, we're actually going to go back and look at your whole health history. What set you up to realize that this was an issue for you, and why do you keep repeating it all the way through your life? Because obviously different people have the same traumatic event, but it affects them completely differently. And so we know that all sorts of traumas can set up all sorts of habits that you just keep repeating. And what we're saying is, if we have this two-prong approach of treating the acute and looking at the reason that was set up in the first place, we have a chance to break that habit.
Yes, it is actually breaking the cycle, correct? Okay. That's totally right. It is breaking the cycle. It is also building resilience. Chronic anxiety really takes a toll on people, and that's not only on their daily lives, but also in the long run, probably on their immunity in general. For some, they might have more inflammation. It will affect sleep, appetite. So that's why really individualizing these cases are key in step 2. And I mean, we also do that in step 1. We always individualize in homeopathy, but it is more of a deeper approach in step 2.
I think it's worth noting at this point as well that actually, if we were to look at the materia medica for anxiety, we would find many, many, many remedies, probably more than 500, maybe more than 1,000 remedies. Most remedies have some form of anxiety in there. And certain pictures come to light when we're reading about those remedies. So we know that, we might have children who are hiding their face behind their hands, for instance, or when they are communicating with certain people, they lose their words and actually can't talk or stumble on their words. And so each way that somebody responds is going to help us find the remedy that suits them, that matches with the way that they express their anxiety.
That's correct. And bringing that step 1 to help with the now, and step 2 to help with the future.
Yeah,
it's fantastic. And it will really, really help people see the benefits of homeopathy.
Let's go back to what you mentioned at the beginning when you said that we're seeing anxiety in children as young as 3, because it doesn't surprise me. I see it, quite a lot, because I also want to just bring in that actually, when we look at animals, quite often we see that an animal has the same remedy as the owner. So to me, it makes sense that sometimes a child is picking up a vibe of the family. If the parents are anxious, if there's a a communication issue or a difficult setting, or they're just picking up on other people's emotions, it makes sense that they will begin to react in certain ways because that's what they're seeing all of the time.
Yes, I do agree with you. And also, life in general is now more into this, fast paced life. Everything is very quick, very fast. And therefore, we don't have a lot of time to just sit and ground ourselves. So, and you can definitely see the effect of also social media on children, and computer games, and everything that a child actually is seeing and is dealing with in these current times. So I do agree with you. There is a lot of this contagious anxiety, maybe if we can call it, within families, within the community.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And then you've mentioned that our lifestyle at the moment and how that's changed, and perhaps more children are doing things rather than doing things, if you see what I mean. They're not perhaps playing as freely with the imagination as they would have years ago, because they've got a lot more stimulation around them all of the time. And that then makes me think about communication as well, because we noticed during lockdown, didn't we, that the young children really, really suffered from not having communication or the ability to go and mix with other children.
Yes. One of the major contributors to anxiety, I would say, and I've read that in many research papers, is loneliness. And you're definitely right. I mean, during those few years of COVID, children, of course, but also many, many people were left alone, away from their families, away from contact, human contact. So it did affect I think, the statistics overall, with this, anxiety going up.
Yeah.
And again, having to diagnose more people with that, and then again the medication that come with it. So you're absolutely right.
No, this is such a huge subject, isn't it? And we have just, had a few minutes to kind of just touch the surface of it. So, but I know that you are preparing webinars and ebooks and lots of different resources just to help people understand a little bit more about how they can be more comfortable in this world. So tell us a little bit about what's happening, about what you're putting together.
So I did prepare a free ebook, and it's ready to be downloaded for anyone who is interested. And it is really the simple, just explaining the 2 simple steps on how we use homeopathy in helping with anxiety. There is a self-help guide as well. There's an explanation on homeopathy. There is explanation on the whole process, on how we deal with such a thing. And I have to say, I mean, I didn't invent anything new. It's not a new thing, this concept of the 2-step, the acute and the chronic. Yeah. It is something we use all the time on most conditions, but I would say more so with homeopathy. And I think just putting things in a simple way for people who don't know anything about homeopathy, or if for people who are looking for something natural out there that can help with their symptoms and with their conditions. And the easier it is, the better, and the more people who would actually understand the concept and approach and try homeopathy. So, for everyone really suffering with anxiety, I want to say, they're not alone. There is help out there, and homeopathy does offer this amazing, gentle, natural way to help with these conditions. So yes, the book is available. They can download it from the website on www.nourazem.com. I'm sure we'll have some description under this video, or alternatively, they can contact me on my Instagram account at Nour Azem. And I can also send them the link for the book on the message. And yes, we have, or we are preparing for a webinar, which is going to happen soon with Homeopathy 24/7. It's going to be taking place online in September. And I'll be talking about this subject and going a bit deeper. It's in an interactive session. People can come, join us and ask questions. It's going to be on the 27th of September. We're going to talk, or promote it very soon on your platforms and my platform. So yes, I'd love to have as many people on this webinar, and know that there is help indeed outside, and that we've seen it happen all the time and every day.
Yes. So if you haven't heard already, Homeopathy 24/7 are putting together a 3-day free homeopathic conference for you to come and meet Nour and some of the other homeopaths in our team, presenting on different subjects throughout the 3 days. So we're very, very excited about that. And this is just such a big subject that we know that this webinar is going to be very, very popular. There's just so much to cover. So this might be an opportunity as well to ask everybody if they want to send in questions. We can direct those to Nour and she can help, because it's just putting together something that you can try, and you can try easily today and see what effect that has on your life. And as Nour said, we just see so many great results and such, amazing things when suddenly your child is happy to go into school or enjoying doing something that they really couldn't bring themselves to do before because anxiety got in the way. So as you said right in the beginning, anxiety is something that actually stops you living your life as you should be living your life. And if we can all find something that we can incorporate into our life really, really easily, then it is life-changing. It really makes a difference for you now, and your future self is really going to thank you for it.
That's right. Thank you, Mary, very much. And I really hope that this episode brings some hope and some direction to the listeners.
Thank you, Nour. Thank you, Nour, for coming in today and talking with us about anxiety. It is so important that we just talk more about this and find something that can be really useful for you or your family members. And in fact, next week, we're going to be carrying on with this topic. We're going to be talking with Anne Lovett about Argentum nitricum. So one of those remedies that is really, really important. We're going to go into some real depth with this remedy. I hope you can join us. Look forward to seeing you then. Take care. I do hope you've enjoyed these episodes, and I do hope you can subscribe to our channels. Now, there are various ways for you to listen to our podcast or watch it on video on YouTube. So whether it's iTunes, Spotify, or YouTube, please do subscribe and please do leave us a review. If you leave us a review on these platforms, then more people will see our podcast. We just want more people to share the joy of homeopathy. It's a choice that everybody should know about. Please do everything you can to help us help more people.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode and look forward to listening to our next one. Please don't forget to follow our podcast on your chosen channel, and please do leave us a review so we can continue to share homeopathy with as many people as possible. If you do have any questions, please do reach out to us on any of our social platforms mentioned in the show notes. We at Homeopathy 24/7 hope to empower you on your natural health journey.